3 weeks ago, you probably cleaned your bathroom. You scrubbed the tiles, wiped the sink, maybe even got on your knees and cleaned around the toilet. And you felt good about it. Clean bathroom. Clean home. Safe family. But right now, while you're watching this, there is something growing in that same bathroom that your scrubbing didn't touch. Not because you didn't clean hard enough, because nobody ever told you that what you're seeing on the surface is not even 10% of what's actually there. The mold you can see is the least dangerous part. What's already inside your walls, inside your grout, inside the air your children breathe every single morning during their shower, that's what's been quietly working on your family's health for months, maybe years. And the fix costs $1. But first, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your bathroom right now. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. What mold actually is, and why your bathroom is perfect for it. Most people think mold is a hygiene problem. It's not. It's a biology problem, and your bathroom is biologically the most perfect environment for mold to thrive. Every morning, you create the exact conditions mold needs, you run hot water, generate steam, raise the humidity to near 100%, and then leave and close the door. You've just created a greenhouse. Mold doesn't need much. A small patch of grout, a thin bead of old caulk, the corner where your tile meets the tub, these are entire ecosystems for a mold colony. It feeds on soap residue and skin cells embedded in those surfaces, drinks the moisture left behind after every shower, and grows root structures called hyphae that drive deeper into porous materials every single day. By the time mold is visible on your tile, the colony has already established itself deep inside the material beneath it. The surface mold you've been scrubbing is just the part flowering outward. The organism itself is already living inside your grout, inside your caulk, and if it's been there long enough, inside the drywall cavity behind your tiles. Scrubbing the surface doesn't kill it, it disturbs it, and a disturbed mold colony releases a massive burst of spores into the air as a defense response. The moment you start scrubbing without the right method, you've turned your bathroom into a spore cloud your family inhales for the next 24 to 48 hours. Mold exposure doesn't hit you like a sudden illness. It works slowly, over weeks and months, mimicking symptoms that doctors treat as completely separate conditions, which is exactly why it almost never gets caught. Persistent fatigue that doesn't improve no matter how much you sleep. Brain fog, that heavy, cloudy feeling where concentration takes real effort. Recurring respiratory infections in your children that antibiotics treat temporarily but never fully resolve. Headaches that appear in the morning and ease during the day, specifically after the shower, specifically in the bathroom where the exposure is highest. Chronic congestion written off as seasonal allergies year after year. These are not random symptoms. These are documented physiological responses to continuous low-level mycotoxin exposure. The invisible chemical output mold produces 24 hours a day, whether you can see it or not. Mycotoxins are not spores. You cannot filter them with a basic mask. They are microscopic chemical compounds that pass through lung tissue, enter the bloodstream, and accumulate in the body over time. And your bathroom, specifically the shower, is the most efficient delivery system imaginable. Every morning you spend 10 to 15 minutes in a sealed, steam-filled room that has fully opened your airways. You are breathing at maximum absorption rate in the room with the highest mold concentration in your home. If there is active mold in that bathroom, your family is getting the highest possible dose of it every single morning before the day has even started. Bleach. Everyone reaches for bleach. And bleach does kill mold on non-porous surfaces like glass or glazed ceramic. But grout is not glass. Caulk is not ceramic. Bleach is approximately 95% water. The chlorine kills surface mold on contact, but the water, the carrier, absorbs into porous grout and caulk and feeds moisture directly to the deeper colony. You kill the top layer and water the roots. This is why mold treated with bleach returns faster and more aggressively within 2 to 3 weeks. You're not losing the battle because you're not trying hard enough. You're losing it because you've been given the wrong tool. Commercial mold sprays operate on the same principle. They produce a visible result. The surface darkening disappears. Tiles look clean. Because that visible result is what makes you buy the product again. None of them penetrate grout to the depth where the colony actually lives. The entire category of bathroom mold spray products is built on a repeating customer, not a solved problem. And you've been the repeating customer. The $1 fix that actually works. White distilled vinegar and baking soda. Together, less than $1 in the quantities needed, and they accomplish something no commercial product does. They kill the mold organism through the porous surface rather. Then on top of it, vinegar has a pH level that disrupts mold's cellular membrane across more than 80% of common household mold species. Applied undiluted and left to penetrate for a full hour, it doesn't just kill surface mold, it follows moisture pathways into the grout and attacks the colony at depth. Apply it, close the bathroom door, leave it for 60 full minutes. That's when it works. After the hour, mix baking soda into a thick paste, 3 parts baking soda, 1 part water, consistency of toothpaste, thick enough to stick to a vertical surface. Apply this over the vinegar-soaked grout using an old toothbrush and scrub in firm circular motions. The fizzing reaction you'll see is the alkaline baking soda reacting with residual vinegar acid inside the grout pores, physically lifting the mold structure out from within the material while the pH disruption continues killing the organism at a cellular level. Scrub until the fizzing slows, wipe clean, rinse with warm water. Then, and this step determines whether this result lasts 2 weeks or several months, apply 1 final layer of undiluted vinegar over the treated area and allow it to air dry, completely without rinsing. This residual acidity creates a surface environment hostile to new spore germination for weeks. It is a barrier coat, and this single step is the difference between treating the problem and preventing its return. Press your finger against the caulk line where your bathtub meets the tile. If it compresses, feels soft, or has any give instead of being firm, it is mold compromised throughout its entire depth, and no surface treatment will resolve it. Strip that caulk completely, allow the substrate behind it to dry for 72 hours, treat the exposed area with the vinegar application, let it dry again, then recalk with mold. Resistant caulk containing a built-in fungicide. $4 at any hardware store. This is the actual permanent solution for the most common bathroom mold entry point in every home. Your exhaust fan should run for 20 to 30 minutes after you leave the bathroom, not just during your shower. Most people turn it off when they walk out, which is exactly when it's most needed. The critical moisture window is the half hour after the shower ends, when warm, wet surfaces are at maximum spore germination conditions. Test your fan by holding a sheet of toilet paper near the intake grill while it runs. If the paper doesn't hold against the grill by suction alone, your fan is not moving enough air and mold will always return, regardless of how well you clean. A $5 squeegee hung in your shower, used for 20 seconds after every shower to wipe down wet tile surfaces, removes the primary moisture and the soap residue mold feeds on, simultaneously. This one habit done consistently is more effective at long-term mold prevention than any spray product you will ever buy. Your bathroom is where your family starts every single day with their lungs fully open, breathing deeply, completely unaware of what might be sharing that air with them. The mold on your grout is not a cosmetic issue. It is a biological organism actively producing compounds your family's bodies are accumulating over time. And the solution, the real solution that addresses the organism rather than just its appearance, costs $1 and an afternoon. Go check the caulk. Look at the grout behind the toilet. Get low and look at the base of the tub where the tile meets the floor. And if you find what most people find, deal with it today, not next weekend. Today.